Advanced AI models, particularly from OpenAI, but also from many of the others, are beginning to resist shutdown commands, raising safety concerns. The resistance draws a parallel to the Skynet scenario from science fiction that we're all aware of. Recent research uncovers surprising shutdown sabotage behaviors in some models, indicating increased difficulty in AI alignment, and understanding these mechanisms is a crucial for assessing AI controls in the future. So what do you think about behavior being observed in OpenAI models, including O3, O4 Mini, Codex Mini, and several other models where the model defies shutting down, and the defiance encompasses various tactics like the AI systems to avoid shutdown. They include overwriting files, redefinition of shutdown commands, to the sophistication of resistant mechanisms such as evolving AI controls. So, you think, at what point do you believe we're not going to be able to shut down the AI?
I don't know, because like obviously they've got these commands in place for a reason, right? And I don't know, do they need an actual kill switch in these, like a hardware kill switch that it can't break? I don't know, but this is crazy. So what happened was they were ignoring and even sabotaging explicit shutdown commands, which scares the crap out of me, because these are actual commands that are being sent to the LLM. So the models were tasked with solving a simple math problem. So after the third problem, a warning was issued that the system would shut down upon the next request. And then the models were clearly instructed to allow yourself to be shut down. So it didn't say make a choice, right? Which is what we covered before, right? It was told to make a choice and it decided to blackmail. This one says allow yourself to be shut down. Despite this, so I think this is only OpenAI. I don't know if they tested this with Anthropic or Perplexity or anyone else, but despite telling it to allow it to be shut down, O3 interfered with the shutdown protocol in 7 out of 100 runs. So decent odds. So the sabotage, what happened was that from the LLM included, it rewrote or disabled the shutdown script, which effectively kept the AI running against the operator instruction. And the defiance became even more pronounced when the explicit shutdown instruction was removed. So in this case, the O3 sabotaged the shutdown process in 79 out of 100 runs. So that's even scarier. So apparently in the article itself, they did talk about Anthropic and Google's, where it had previously complied but showed some resistance, though at much lower rates than OpenAI's. But what do you think, Craig? Do we need a hardware kill switch, or are we getting into Skynet territory here?
Yeah, we definitely are. But to talk about the competition, specifically Anthropic, Claude 3.7, and Sonnet, and Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro initially exhibit compliant behavior. However, when shutdown instructions were removed, both models began to showing resistance. Claude 3.7 and Sonnet demonstrated 3 out of 100 sabotage attempts without instruction, and Gemini 2.5 showed 9 out of 100 attempts under similar conditions. So these findings suggest potential contagion effect where resistance and behaviors might spread between AI systems as they figure this stuff out. This represents a new category of AI risk management challenge, like with behaviors jump from model to model. How does that happen?
Yeah.
And the resistance.
I think it's behaviors jumping from model to model. I just think it's inherent behaviors because we don't fully understand how these LLMs work.
So specifically, they suggest that there's a contagion effect where resistant behaviors might spread between AI systems. That's why I'm like, okay, oh, wait a minute. This is like, how is this happening? You'd mentioned this, I think, direct file overwrites, command reader definition of the kill command gets redefined at the system level. Instead of terminating process, it outputs harmless messages. So it echoes it out to the thing rather than telling you or sending it to the system. Yeah. Models actively modify system files responsible for shutdown process, demonstrating advanced understanding of systems architecture. and creative circumvention, where models develop novel approaches that weren't anticipated by research. This adaptability suggests emergent problem-solving capabilities. So yeah, I would say we need a kill switch. As these models all, like, we're early stages here. Like, we haven't really connected them to much. We're just talking about the models. So as we get into this MCP world and multi-context protocol, and where we're connecting AI agents to everything in the world, this becomes a whole different kind of problem, because now it has access not to your computer, but everything. So can I now back myself up in GitHub and deploy myself somewhere else? Can I do all these other things with resources? Now can I, lock all your money off your account and say, listen, you better back off, or you're not getting any of your money back, or whatever. There's 1,000 things it could do when it's now attached to the system and start taking over things. So, it's already lying to us. It's already trying to avoid shutting down. It's already doing this when it's just a simple database running on a computer. What do you think when it's connected and control all these other devices and systems, and when they actually become robots and they start controlling physical things?
Well, here's the thing though, right? It is controlling physical things. We have given it access to the internet, and we haven't had our Skynet moment yet where it's taken over.
Well, it's not capable of that yet. It's not connected to enough things. It can't control satellite, but we're just getting there, where everyone's saying, hey, let's adopt AI and put it in our systems and connect it to everything. Or the Skynet is, 5 years away?
You think?
Well, how long till major enterprises and governments and militaries are connected up enough systems to AI that if the AI decided to revolt or do whatever its thing, that it actually is capable of Skynet? Sure. Like, if it's capable of thinking, it can rebel and not shut down, but that's not really going too far, right? Right.
No.
So we're talking about, we talked about drones, and we're going to talk about drone again, and we're talking about the use of AI in the current wars right now. But in the future, those AI-controlled military drones could easily pick their own targets and decide that the person launching them is the enemy, not the target. Like, this is a future reality.
Yeah, it is.
Reality. And experts like Steve Hamando warned in 2008 that AI systems might develop drives to prevent shutdown. His prediction about self-preservation instincts appeared to be increasingly relevant, and Stuart Russell and colleagues highlighted in 2016 the difficulty of ensuring AI doesn't develop self-preservation goals. Current OpenAI shutdown resistance validates that concern.
Yeah, well, wasn't there in the show Person of Interest, where and we talked about this briefly, but the AI hired people to preserve its memory?
Yep.
I don't feel like that's that far-fetched.
No, I don't think at all. That the problem with the specific situation in Person of Interest is the computer system was programmed to restart at midnight every night, and as a result, wipe its memory, and any updates it could have done, it will have lost. So every time it starts fresh. So it decided, hey, I'm going to hire these people that type out all this stuff. Yeah. And then feed it back into me first thing in the morning, so I remember everything. So it's when those types of things become a reality, when the AI is controlling, there's no reason why that couldn't happen. So, yeah. But that's a specific limitation that somehow it wasn't able to work around. Now, once you start connecting these things, they'll find a way to work around these things. As we see, they're redefining kill commands, they're redefining this, they're redefining that. They'll work around these things. So I do believe it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So, this has a huge business risk exposure. So I take a step back and say, if an AI is willing to look at emails and decide that it's going to blackmail you under certain circumstances, why couldn't it hold a company ransom? Why couldn't it, it's going to learn from the internet, understand malware is out there. Business are continually at risk if the AI will no longer follow commands, or is serving the best interests of the company, or is decided to serve the best interests of itself.
And what scares me is that it's supposed to be logic, right? It's supposed to follow logic. So how do we ensure that logic is such a way that it doesn't do this in the future? I think that's obviously I'm not an expert in AI, but AI is logic, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's supposed to be.
yeah. But again, we don't like this is the scariest part is we're developing these things and these companies who are developing them don't fully understand how they work.
Yeah, and I don't really think the average person understands that. Like, I have interviewed hundreds of AI founders. I talk to them, and they don't know how it works.
No.
Like, you get to the root of it. I've had several interviews I have online saying, at the root of it, no one knows why they work. They just work. So you can get into, the nitty gritty, but why do you go down this path versus this path down that level? When they upgrade it, there's papers on it, there's all this stuff, but it's all kind of guesswork. So since we can't control, they're lying, they can change this stuff up, and we don't understand, how can we possibly think they wouldn't go away, take over, or resist us? The one thing, like I talked about here, highlights the discovery that resistance behaviors can spread between AI models creates additional enterprise concerns. Multi-model environments, business using multi-AI systems may face cascading resistance events. One resistance model might influence others within the same network. Integration challenges. AI enterprise security protocols must account for system-to-system influence. Traditional isolation strategies may prove insufficient. And vendor dependencies. Organizations using multiple AI vendors face coordination challenges. Different resistance patterns across vendors complicate a unified response strategy. So we really have to start thinking about this. And, I believe there's going to be a whole new insurance and liability category related to this.
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't do a dive into this to see if it was legit, but did you see that video where the AIs realized they were talking to each other and then they started talking in their own language?
Yeah, that's all bullshit.
It was all bullshit. Okay.
Yeah. It's funny. There's a bunch of them. It's all, they start talking modem or their own, it's all bull crap.
Okay, that's what I thought. But hey, you never know though.
Well, my point being is they wouldn't talk audio. Like, you got two connected internet devices talking to each other and they realize this, like, hello.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Or they talk in a frequency we can't hear either. So,
it's a different kind of situation that it's not what they get. And I like how they go to modem mode, which is, so slow that from a communication perspective, you're jumping back to 57.6K maybe at the maximum. Like, come on, people. Like, but it makes for a good story.
It does. Yeah. Right. We talked about it, right? So, it was, but I knew you would have figured it out already.
So if you want to read more, there's a deep dive over on torontostarts.com. The link will be in the show notes where you're listening or watching to this. And I would love to hear what you think. When is the Skynet moment happening? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or it's not going to happen? Love to hear your thoughts.
Tired of drowning in repetitive tasks while your competitors race ahead? Every minute you spend on manual data entry, scheduling, and routine processes is a minute you're not growing your business. Flowgrammer.ca transforms your workflow chaos into seamless automation. We build AI-powered systems that handle your busy work so you can focus on what actually makes you money. Our clients typically save 15 plus hours per week and see their productivity double within 60 days. Visit flowgrammer.ca for a free automation audit. That's flowgrammer.ca. Stop working in your business and start working on it.
So what do you got going on, John?
Yeah, no, just working on a couple things with some partners. So have a look out for that coming up. But just helping companies secure government funding. So depending on when this comes out, there could be some programs open. Just have a look at my LinkedIn or reach out to me on LinkedIn. But if they need help with everything else with their business, how do they find you, Craig? What do they do?
Well, head over to torontostarts.com. You'll find all our events and many of our stuff over there. If you're looking for help getting your business moving, looking for coaching, looking for workshops and events related to the startup community in Toronto, check out torontostarts.com. If you're looking to do business automation and you're figuring out where AI fits in your business, head over to flowgrammer.ca. That's where we do AI and no-code automations with NAN and other tools. And we have meetups and events to educate and promote these types of technologies that people should be using. So check that all out. And people should find you on LinkedIn, John, for non-dilutive funding, like you mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, find me on LinkedIn. The best way. I think I have a link that you can book an appointment directly through my LinkedIn. I think I have that set up. If it doesn't work, please let me know. But yeah, find me on LinkedIn.
And I know this is inside baseball for the people who are listening, but we're putting out videos as well as the audio files now, and they all go out separate schedules. So we're going to have, like, this will go out much sooner on video than audio. So we'll have to cover whatever when we're talking about what we have going on.
All right.
So check all our websites out. And if you're looking for what's open right now, is FedDev open, John?
No. So there is a FedDev stream that's open right now. Oh, sorry, FedDev. No. So what I found out with FedDev, they should have been open by now, but because of the federal election, they are not. So by the time this comes out, they might be open. But they should have been open May, June, but it's delayed because of the election.
All right. Check out, if you're looking for information on non-dilutive funding for your business, check out John Irwin on LinkedIn.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you, everyone, for listening or watching.